Hello guys, this is the Rug Detective Show coming to you with another show. Today basically we're going to do a breakdown of the Rug Detectives checklist. So this is a checklist I basically created really for my own findings based on prior to looking at positions for DeFi projects. What do I need to go through? What are the certain steps that one needs to take before entering a trade? And we're fully aware that there's huge opportunities in the marketplace where everyone's talking about, 10x, 1000x, 100x, all of the amazing X's. However, what's happened on the downside? And are you just jumping on to certain trades based on what someone else is saying? It's important now that you take control of your own finances and decisions that you make, and I totally believe that this has actually helped me, and I believe that this is helping a lot of people in the space. So ultimately this is the checklist, and I'm just going to walk you through the whole process because there's been a lot of questions about that, and also at the end I'm going to just give you some more information about some value tips that you can take away and start moving and investing in the crypto space. If you haven't done so already, please make sure you go to, you're on the channel now, so the Rug Detective Show, make sure you like, subscribe, you follow, you go to my Twitter account as well, so @DetectivesRug, make sure you follow there. We're actually going to start providing a lot more valuable information in addition to what we're doing. There's also this link here, which is the Blacklisted Wallet address. Or addresses. Basically it gives you a full breakdown of the different wallet addresses that are connected to previous scams that took place. So these are the creator wallet and the associated projects that was connected, and the rug pull or scam or funds were drained or whatever that was negative about it were purely stated. And what that does is enables you, if you're looking at a specific project and you find it's absolutely phenomenal, one would have to first and foremost check out the specific token address, then connect the token address to the specific creator wallet. So I'll just show you now. For example, if I go to here, so this is just the project, and then so if you go to, so this is on dextools.io. And then basically what happens here, you click on this view contract tab and it opens up another link. And then when you click on token tracker here, token tracker will basically go down and show you all of the, sorry, if you just go back, so I wanted to show you holders. If you want to go back, you click on a link, it'll show the contract creator, and this contract creator, you basically then just click on that, takes you to this page. And then you can be able to copy and paste this creator and then link it to the specific Rug Detective scam wallet list. So what you essentially do here, you'll take a look if this creator of that project is showing up under the blacklisted wallet that we created. So here it's showing that nothing shows up. So that's just, it doesn't mean that this project is not a scam. It just means that we've ticked off one box essentially, and we're going through the step-to-step process that you should take. And normally once you get up to speed with this, it should only really take you, for example, 15-20 minutes to go through the whole process. So I'm just trying to expedite it for you to make sure it's easier. So anyway, let's just go back, let's revert back. So basically here, first and foremost, here just gives a breakdown of the project names and obviously my contact details if you want to reach out to me. I'm also considering setting up maybe a Discord or a Telegram channel. Let me know if this is of interest for you, and I want to start doing some live streams as well. So let me know if this is something of value that you'll be interested in being a part of, so I can be able to answer your questions live in terms of certain codes and looking at certain projects. So first and foremost is the on-page analysis. So the way you have to see this is for example, I basically put down here the website. So the website gives a full breakdown of the details, and the details which clearly explains the information such as, is the idea innovative? Is it a game changer? Are they really looking to change something in the space, which is important? Take a look at the competitors. You can actually use something called a SWOT analysis. You can go for a SWOT analysis. So basically a SWOT analysis gives you essentially a metrics, and the SWOT analysis will basically show you strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So what you can do is you can be able to add this SWOT analysis to this section basically, and I'll actually add that here, to be honest, to make it even easier. So I'm just doing it now in real time. And I think this might be something I'll actually be interested in incorporating. So you can be able to take a look at your own time. So ultimately, once you've basically done that, it just goes through the whole information of areas that you want to look at in terms of the market, and then it shows the domain. So I also like to take a look at when was this specific website registered. So you go to the Who's domain tools, this is the link, and it gives you a breakdown of when the website. So what you find is a lot of new projects that basically have an idea, and they then create a standard template website. What you tend to find is, so if I go for example here, Key Tango, so if we go to their website here, just giving an example here, so this is the Key Tango website here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in Who's lookup domain tools, and then I go to all, and then what I'll then do is I'll just copy and paste that domain name, and I'll search. The reason I want to do is I want to see how long, when did they actually register the domain name, how long they've been thinking about this idea, because it gives you an understanding. So this company, which I did a review a few days ago, they basically registered in 2019. It doesn't mean that they actually registered. They could have basically acquired a domain name, but it just gives me an understanding of what's going on, and also to see whether I can find more details about the company. So sometimes they might have the company's name here, but a lot of projects in this space, it's not revealed basically, so it's protected, and clearly here showing the same thing. So that's that. And then if we continue in terms of the checklist, then I also want to take a look at the source code. So I'll go on a specific website, I'll then take a look at the source code to see, is it a WordPress website, is it a Wix website, is it something that was done within a day or so? You can slap up a template and a WordPress straight away without any stress, or do they use Bootstrap, React Native? You know, what time did they spend to really articulate, to understand about really building something strong? And then also there's vulnerabilities to WordPress and Wix in terms of plugins that's used and upgrades, and you know, the servers as well. Is it shared servers? Is it a dedicated server? All these things you need to be aware of, especially if you're staking, or if they have a function whereby they're accepting Presale via their website. So these all the things all are part of a process that you should really look at when making a decision. Then I'll go down to Telegram. So these are social media communication channels, Twitter, and I want to basically just see, in terms of Twitter channel, is how many followers do they have, when was the Twitter account registered. I'll then take a look at what's the engagement, so the community engagement, just to have an understanding. I'll look at who's following. So if there are certain we call it shillers in the space, so influencers that have recommended projects that have scammed before, I want to keep a lookout. Are they being followed? Are they actually shilling? Are they a partner of this project? So this gives me certain things that I need to be aware of. Then I'll go down to whether Reddit, what's the information, how well they're doing from a marketing point, because a lot of projects really die due to a lack of marketing, and a lot of these small projects don't have the initial capital. So are they utilizing, let's say, manpower or women power to be able to spread the word initially before they even list on the exchange? So there's a list on Uniswap, so there's some form of value and there's a flow taking place already. And then I'll go through the LinkedIn. A lot of these projects, there's a lot of anonymous team members, so you can't really depict in terms of what's happening. But there are some projects now that are trying to build up the name by actually doxing the team members. So I really spend time to go onto LinkedIn if they are docked, to understand and correlate this team member, this CEO, is he actually part of this company? This CTO, is that true? This developer, is that true? If there are any red flags, then I'll start asking questions. Then also, which is extremely important, is the product. And this coincides especially with the main tools. So if a new project does not have a product, they're looking to try and raise 100 ETH on Presale. And then they were basically, the main name were registered literally a few weeks ago. That's few red flags, because it means that they have an idea, which is fantastic. They're now trying to raise money based on nothing, based on thin air. So I would like for projects that have at least have some form of an application, some form of a DApp, that one can be able to click on a link, they can check it, they can test it, and that kind of builds that trust that they're really spending time to understand about their project, their roadmap, and what they're trying to achieve. And then I'll understand. So the further they are along that roadmap in terms of testnet is really important. Obviously, if they're already there and they already have something on the mainnet, then it's like, wow, what's going on here? Why do they really need to launch, or why do they need to raise money? A prime example is a company called Shopping. Is it shopping.io or SPI it's called, isn't it? SPI. So shopping.io, they actually have an existing business generating a huge amount of money in the e-commerce space where you can be able to utilize crypto as a transaction. So they actually had a business prior to listing. And I think they actually built a huge amount of trust already with them, because they listed with a tangible business generating revenues already, with employees, with customers, stakeholders. And hence the reason why you saw price points that started, if we go back, let's say, let's go back 1 hour, probably listed, I'm not too sure what price they listed, but less than $2. And it's now currently topped out at $72. So 35x at least. And this is where we are. So it's just already telling you that have a product, it's tangible, it's already working. And this is the reason why. If they have a reason why they're trying to raise funding for this, then it kind of builds that confidence and trust. Then you go down to Presale. So Presale is a total minefield, because companies that are trying to raise money in the Presale, you then want to take a look at all the information, as I just alluded to. But then also you don't really know whether they're going to just try and scam you and run away with the funds. So you really need to be cautious in this specific stage. And that's really why I tell people to really ensure that they've covered all areas prior to making a decision to be able to get involved in Presale. And the Presale entities that are quite well known in the space is such as Bounce, Finance, Lid Protocol, Unicrypt also now come out with their own DApp, whereby in terms of Presale are locked, which is quite a ingenious, a phenomenal way and building trust in the marketplace to reduce the risks of these projects running away with the Presale money or the ETH. So I'm going to really touch on what Unicrypt are doing in another episode, so just give you a heads up. And then if you go down here, you'll find whitelist. So prior to any Presale taking place, you'll find companies that will do a whitelist. So they'll say, listen, we are whitelisting a certain amount of people, fill out this Google sheet or this document to show that you've retweeted, you followed us, to really spread the word for marketing, or trying to understand about the allocation that you want to be able to put into a specific project. And they really want to do this for scarcity reason, but to show that they have a valuable project. It doesn't mean they do, but this is what they're trying to, trying to enforce, trying to explain to the marketplace. And then in terms of Liquidity Lock, so a lot of these projects, that the first thing, as soon as they're listed onto Uniswap, you want to ask, are your tokens locked? So the liquidity that you have in terms of ETH, is it locked? When you go to DEX tools, you can be able to find out here by clicking this link. It will show, which is really good actually what they're doing here. Click on this link, it goes directly to Unicrypt, and it'll show whether SBI are locked, for example, with Unicrypt, or are they locked with Team Finance, for example. So there's a few, like Unilock as well. So there's a few companies out there that are really doing well in the space. So they've locked with Team Finance, and it gives you a breakdown of the liquidity that's locked, gives you a breakdown of the total supply, gives a breakdown of the total value, and then it shows here, which is really important, is how long has it been locked for. So the longer the period of the liquidity being locked, it builds up more trust that they're in this for the long haul, long term. So these are things that you want to do, and that's why I added that information here. Also added Unilock there. Then tokenomics will normally be on the website, gives you a breakdown of the distribution of their specific project and incentivization mechanisms to show you areas such as total supply, circulating total supply, the price point, pre-sale allocation, team vesting periods for the seed, private round, so on and so forth. So you can have an understanding about the valuation and market cap of that project and see if this is interesting or not. And this is one of the concerns I had with Option Room, because they basically, I don't know what the price is now, but they had, when I last saw, they had a diluted market cap of 200 million. The price was botted from once it was listed. So the price literally shot up from, so if we even go there, so take a look, Room, so Option Room. So there was like a 90 ETH buy once it was listed here. It was around 30 cents. And then there's a huge bot that went in and took that price all the way up to a high of $5. So it went from a smaller valuation to what I stated here, 200 million. So that's roughly around the market cap. And the question is, would you really be interested in getting involved in a company that's already heavily high market cap? You know, they are on the levels of well-known projects, DeFi companies. So these are the questions that you need to ask. So that's the reason for that, just to let you know. And then also team and dev and marketing tokens locked. So you can be able to ask the questions when you're on Telegram or Discord and speak to the company, the project, and say, listen, are your teams locked? Show me the link to an Etherscan so I can be able to take a look. So they should be able to show you that information. Or if there's locked on, for example, Unilock or whatever, can be able to be there. And then you have the smart and staking contract vulnerabilities. This is an extremely important area that a lot of people don't really talk about, but this is extremely important. So before I get into any project, I want to take a look at the source code. So what I'll then do is I'll go take a look at the project. I'll then click on the Etherscan as I showed you. And then I'll then click on the token tracker. And then thereafter, let's just go back here. And then here it says contract, and then contract will show you the source code. So obviously not every single person here has experience in terms of Solidity to read through this, but it's extremely important. Why? Because there are scrupulous individual scammers that will add certain malicious code vulnerabilities, ways that they can be able to have opportunity to mint, so increase the supply of tokens, which effectively have the option to be able to dump and sell those tokens in the market. There are so many ways that they can get around this, behind proxies, for example, or having large transactions or blocking the sell transactions, for example. So it's extremely important to be able to take a look at the code. If you don't have the experience, then reach out to us and ask us to have a look at and review the code for you, and we can do that. And this is the Blacklisted Wallets, as I showed you before. You can be able to take a look at that link. Everything's found if you go to my bio, also in the description, YouTube. And then I look at the repository in terms of where's the source code held. Is it GitHub? And then with GitHub, you can be able to go here. So just show you here. So GitHub, you can be able to then take a look and then go through the information in GitHub to see everything there. So that's that. And then as you go down, basically here, you can, there's GitLab, there's Bitbucket, so on and so forth. And then what I then do is I provide extra material, so like reading material here that you can go through. This could be like a Medium post or blog or partnership articles, whatever it may be. And then I give my views, so advantages and also disadvantages of the project, and then my result. So my result is whether I'm interested in getting involved and investing in the project or not, and the reasons why. Or it could be I have queries and concerns. I've reached out to the CEO of the company, the CTO of the company, team member, and I'm waiting for their response. Or it could be I'm waiting for further due diligence, going to go through the source code. Sometimes when you get these reviews, these project reviews, and you want to just skip, you can just skip down to the summary. And then also what I do is I add the YouTube link here, so you can just go through it to get the information. So that's where we are. I hope you enjoy this. This is more of just a full breakdown of how it works in terms of the rug checklist. I will be adding a project of the month or projects of the month or things to be aware of for the upcoming month to be look out for in terms of projects I'm interested in. So it gives you an opportunity to be aware and have, let's say, some leeway in terms of being prepared and doing your due diligence. So we've got a few people looking at the checklist, and this is the reason why I wanted to do this, is really to spread the word and give this for value and help people. As long as I know that I can help people to make better decisions, then I know that I've done the best that I can. So anyway, I hope you're enjoying the content. Please feel free to like, subscribe, follow, add information in terms of comment about areas that you find that you would like me to work on more or touch on, and that will be able to help you. So anyway, I'll speak to you soon. Take care.